there, unfortunately.
And
all right. Welcome, everyone, to The Void. So let's take a start from the last Void. Morgan and Noah, both of you had quite the exchange going back and forth. Noah, have you two made nice since then?
I don't think Morgan and I even made mean to begin with. Like, I think I view Morgan as like one of my drag sisters, and like that's just how people like. I'm just real. Like I talk to like I was just bringing up information and trying to get to the bottom of things. Morgan knows that, and Morgan also knows my intentions behind what I said last night. And also, I'm like dumb as a brick sometimes when I answer things. So like sometimes the way I perceive things I say like out, like I mean it a certain way, it comes out. So I'm like, oh, all these people are thinking I said it in a different way. I'm like, no, I didn't mean it like that. So I view Morgan as like my drag sister, where we can just like kiki and like banter with and like hate each other or love each other like the next day kind of beat, you know.
Okay. Morgan, is the feeling mutual? Is Noah your drag sister?
No, I hate that much. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
But fudge, we're streaming.
Oh, I thought we were allowed to say that. But...
You can curse. The cursing's okay.
Okay. Yeah. No, I agree. Like we dance here, that's fine. I'm not gonna hold anything personal at the end of the day.
Okay, good. Mikey, you won immunity playing touchy subjects. How does that victory feel, knowing that you've got the best pulse on everybody's thoughts and opinions in this game?
Honestly, I didn't care as much about that as I did that y'all called me the hero of the season. That's cute. And I'm gonna be your best friend. Love it.
All right. Corey, you were voted the person that least deserved to be in the final 9. Last I counted, we are still at the final 10. So does that mean that you are not surviving tonight?
Possibly. Who knows how the votes will fall until you read them. I do think that me not deserving to be in the final 9 does have something to do in that I was exiled for a few rounds there and then came in the middle of a hot mess. So a lot of people hadn't really had the chance to get to know me yet.
Okay. Karen, you tied for being the person that is actually running the game, but you were also voted as the person who thinks they are running the game but isn't. How do you reconcile those two things?
I just laugh about it. I don't know. I feel like people just wanted me to look a certain way and couldn't make up their mind, or who knows? Am I running the game? No, I'm not running the game. I just laugh about it. It's a fun joke. It is what it is. I'm also apparently going to win. I'm also the villain. I can also lie to your face without blinking. So it's just a goofy, fun time.
These are all postseason awards. Will you win them? Time will tell. Zoe, you were tied for the person most likely running the game. How did that feel for you?
That was dumb because I'm not. I'm really hot right now. I'm moving into my house as we speak. So I'm not. I don't know what to say about that. Maybe a little heat stroke going on.
And then on the flip side, Timmy, you tied for biggest goat of the season, but other than that, you really weren't taking consideration for superlatives. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
People don't love me enough to give me awards. It's rude. No, it's not rude. I don't know, because also with the way goat was spelled out while reading that one, I was like, is that the good goat, the bad goat? Because it was in all caps, but I guess it was the bad one because he said on the flip side. I don't know. People can perceive me however they want to perceive me, I guess. They're doing it anyway, so might as well put a pin on it.
Jay, having a challenge like touchy subjects really brings up a lot of perceptions in this game. Does that play into the vote now going forward?
It just kind of like gives an idea of like what people's perception are of you or what they think the group consensus is of you in this game. So it kind of helps like decipher how you want to move going forward. But I don't think it should play that big of a deal essentially because one person's perception is not essentially reality. So I think everybody should just take that into consideration and just move forward like how they were previously before that challenge.
Cammy, so for somebody like you, does this challenge change the way that you're playing this game, or do you continue to play regardless if maybe the challenge was a cup challenge?
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't think it really like plays too much into like things, and I tend to try not to read into it too much. So yeah, I treat it the same way and just go with the flow.
Noah, we are a couple rounds into the merge. Have original constellations played a factor at all?
Not gonna lie, I don't think anyone should like really, I don't know. I just came into this game freshly and like I don't really factor in those original constellations as much because we started on a tribe as 5 people and that's kind of hard in a big cast. So like as much as we were together, my tribe was there for a unan vote and like that's it. We had really good vibes and that's it. Like we just chatted in our chat and like on our off days, like they were off days and it was low-key nice. So no, I don't think they factor in that much, at least for me personally. I can't speak on other people. I know it has factored in on other people and it has caused in a lot of people's like downfall so far. So I try not to factor in that things and take the game as it is and be fluid with it.
So Morgan, Noah says that original constellations have factored into some people's downfall. Does that raise concern, or do you feel like there are no more constellations? We're just one big constellation and everybody's their own player.
I know personally, I'm not looking at the original constellations anymore at all. Like, genuinely, I couldn't even tell you who half of the original like constellations were for people. So I'm not looking at that, period.
Okay. Mikey, what are we looking at then? What is the criteria for tonight's vote?
I mean, it's hard to say, like, because like I said at the last void, and I was right, like we're now in the jury. So not only do we have to think about round to round, we also have to start thinking about what the end game looks like, and those criteria are different for everybody, and everybody's going to have to start thinking about their own game. So I don't know if there's one thing that anybody's going to be looking at for the vote tonight.
Mm-hmm. Corey, Mikey brings up a good point. We are now in the jury phase. So does that factor into the way in which people get ejected?
I guess to a certain extent, yes, because in the back of your mind there is always the jury management portion of the game, but it's also hard because this tribe has been so fluid that you can't really get a good sense of where everyone is fully at, so you don't know how people will react.
All right. So Karen, changing gears just a little bit, we are now at the final 10, right? Which means 10 people have been eliminated from this game. So in theory, those 10 people could have bequeathed 10 coins. Is there nerves that maybe everybody left has a tarot card?
Don't ask me the math question, first of all. I would definitely say that everyone is having some conversations about the where, the what's, the who's with these tarot cards, but we haven't officially seen anything yet. Like, nothing has been played at a void that I know of or that I remember. So yeah, speculation. I'm not counting coins. Again, I'm not a math person. I can't even imagine how many coins could still be in if people like didn't have anyway. It's complicated.
So does that complication speak to the level of safety everyone feels, or the level of paranoia that nobody wants to play anything?
I mean, I don't think that anybody feels safe at this point. Like, I think that would be a really silly thing to feel. I don't know if it's necessarily paranoia or if it's just, I don't know. I think that you should always approach each and every vote like you might receive the votes. And maybe that's a good way of thinking for some people, and like for others that make you spiral. But ultimately, it's never a good idea to go into a vote feeling confident. I don't know if that answered your question. I'd also like to go back to your first question, which I was not coherent enough to answer, which was that, I don't know, if you're basing the vote off of results from touchy subjects, like, you're wrong. I'm sorry, like, people are going to put the answers that they want to put to make a target of who they want to target. If they're, wanting to target me and Karen for being the person that's running the game or whatever, then they're going to use it the way that they can use it. So I'm not running the game. I don't think that anybody is running the game, because there's a lot of people here. There's, I don't know, 10. And so to think that any one person has control over the other 9 or is running the way that they perceive things is a little ridiculous to me, especially because this cast is great. You've done a great job here with providing us with like entertainment and value in a game. And so to think that any of these people would allow themselves to be ran or controlled by another is a little ridiculous.
Jimmy, so a lot of times people break this game down into sections of like, okay, I just need to make the swap, and now I need to make the merge, and now I need to make jury. You're at a place where you've accomplished all of that. Is that change everyone's mindset to now the only thing left to do is to win?
I'm probably not the right person to ask that question, because I hate when people have those type of goals. I'm like, you're here to play the game. Your entire game should be wanting to get to the end. Like, yeah, those accomplishments are like nice and cute or whatever, but if you're not here to put your all into it at every step of the way, then you shouldn't be here. So no, it doesn't change how I'm playing, in like the how much I'm putting into it. The style of gameplay might change over time, but it's not necessarily dictated by the phase. It's dictated by the actions of what's going around with everybody, and just like the vibes and all that.
Jay, are people playing harder than you had anticipated going into this game, or are they right about on level, or are people not playing hard enough?
I think people are playing at the level I expected them to play at. I think some people are playing harder than others at times, but I think from like what I expected people to play it like, they're confirming that for me, I guess. So yeah.
All right. And then last question is to you, Cami. Cami, what should people keep in mind when going to vote tonight?
I'd say probably just keep an open mind with anything. Like, at this point, it has been proven anything can happen. So,
All right.
Right.
Well, it is
Time
time to
to vote.
But before we go to vote, does anybody have anything else they need to say? No? Okay, well then I am going to go off camera and I am going to mute myself. While I am away, you can feel free to talk about anything you want except for this vote and the game. Please also bump your votes in your prod chat to the top of your prod chat. That makes tallying the votes a hell of a lot easier for myself. And when I come back, it will be time to vote. And one of you will be the next constellation ejected. Sorry, the next star ejected from the constellation and will join Grace, lost in the void forever.
I was gonna say, we all going to jury? Hello?
Y'all already know what time it is, besties. Shout out to my amazing project guests, winner of Inferno Season 2, Alexander Markoulis, and David Cantera, icons.
Is that Morgan on
Hey.
top of
Miss Morgan.
Oh, cuties.
I have my. I'm sorry.
I'm not here.
You're here?
I'm here, but not here.
You're more here than a lot of people are.
Oh.
I mean, girl, you're on camera now.
Also, shout out Nick Watson. Love them.
Love Nick.
I do my hair?
Oh my God, everybody's asking me for shout outs right now. Also, shout out to Distortion Prod. Apply for season 5 of Distortion Survivor. Apps close on Friday. Get them in now.
I want to do shout outs, but I'm so parched. Like, I did not drink enough water today. Shout out to all my usual shout outs. Everyone else is so quiet except for Mikey.
I'm off camera for other reasons that cannot be announced on the stream.
Sure. Not that we don't like hearing from Mikey. Sorry, I'm not trying to silence.
Y'all better like hearing from Mikey. Y'all gonna hear a lot from me.
Shout out Nick Watson. Anyone else who wants a shout out, just go ahead and pop that message up. I might see it. I'll do it. Shout out Twiggy. She's someplace. I'm not gonna find her.
Shout out Twiggy.
Shout out Plank Mikey also. You should make that your background.
I have the votes. But before I read the votes, if anybody has a tarot card and they would like to play it, now is the time to do so. All right, I'll read the votes. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The star with the most votes will be ejected from the constellation. They will have a moment to speak their piece, and then they must leave the Zoom immediately, lost to the void till finale night. But at least you'll not be alone. I'll read the votes. First vote. Corey. Timmy. Jay. Morgan. One vote Corey, one vote Timmy, one vote Jay, one vote Morgan. Corey. Timmy. Morgan. 2 votes Corey, 2 votes Timmy, 1 vote Jay, 2 votes Morgan. Morgan. Timmy. 3 votes Timmy, 3 votes Morgan, 2 votes Corey, only 1 vote Jay. Next star ejected from the constellation, lost to the void forever, is Morgan. Morgan, you may speak your piece.
All right, you guys, this was so fun. I have no hard feelings whatsoever. I'm not going to be a bitter juror. I will vote for whoever I think played the best game. I hope you're all ready to explain it to me. And I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Truly, truly.
Love you, Morgan.
Bye,
Love you
Morgan.
guys.
Bye,
Love you.
Bye,
Morgan.
everyone.
Love you.
Thank you, Morgan. Well, for those not paying attention, that vote count was 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, and it is just the final 10. If that is any indication of what is going on in this game or what is not going on in this game, we have a crazy 2 weeks left.